Hi guys, I'm back and it's sunny and it is hot. It's really hot, but you know what? I'm not gonna be moaning about it because this is what I've been waiting for like ages. I'm loving it, but I am definitely making use of my AC system. Absolutely 100%. Okay, so today I thought that we would talk about getting summer ready. I know we're sort of halfway through the summer, but it's never too late to start. So getting summer ready, and this video I want to talk about slimming and anti-cellulite. So Biologique Recherche have a few products that deal with this. Actually, they have a lot of products that deal with this. So I've sort of simplified it because there's obviously a high demand for these things at the moment. We all want to be slim and svelte and smooth and not have that orange peel skin. And with so many options, it can get a little bit confusing. So we're going to dig into the science. We're going to dig into the ingredients. We're going to dig into the products. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. All right, let's get into it. So when we wanna tone up a little bit, we wanna be smoother, we wanna feel better, we're showing more skin because it's summer. Also, I don't know about you, but I know that during the lockdown, I put on so much weight. I mean, I didn't realize how easy it was to tick a button when you're ordering online at a supermarket, and you know, the Walkers and the Cadburys and the Haribos, and they all get ticked, and then they arrive, and then what are you gonna do, not eat them? Of course you're gonna eat them, and you're not going anywhere, no one's seeing you, so yeah. So when that sort of lockdown ended, I was like, I gotta do some work. Yep. So I sort of have this thing where I call it healthy decisions, healthy options, good choices, that kind of thing. I don't like the diet sort of situation. It also doesn't work with me because if I deprive myself of something, it just like hits like 10 times worse because I just have that itch to then eat that chocolate. So it just doesn't work. So the other alternative to that, or it's not really an alternative, I think you should do it with the healthy lifestyle, moving more, eating better. You can also have product application, which also helps with the whole situation. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, in this video, I am going to be focusing on bingo wings, you know, this floppy bit right here. Bingo wings, butt, thighs, those sort of jiggly areas, but sort of on the limbs, not so much on the trunk of the body. Is that what it's called? Because I'm going to talk about that in the next video. I just think that some of our products work better on some areas and other products work better on other areas, even though all of these products, according to Biologique Recherche, work on every single area. I've just seen better results with these specific products. So the first stage of any sort of routine with any sort of products, whether you're talking about BR or whether you're talking about anything, you want to have the most out of the ingredients that you are putting on to your skin, and you want it to penetrate. So the first thing that you always need to do is exfoliate, whether that's mechanical exfoliation, which is like a scrub or a dry brush, or, you know, I don't know, there are loads, or like a mitt, whatever it is, there are loads of types of mechanical exfoliation that you can use, or you can use a chemical exfoliation. So a chemical exfoliation would be an acid exfoliator. We are pretty famous, maybe a little bit, for their BR Lotion P50, and they also have one specifically for the body. Let me get it. Which is this one right here. So this is the Lotion P50 Corps, not corpse, corps. Let's say it right. Corps is body. Yeah, not dead body. So this, I always say, apply it prior to any other product for the body because it's just going to make it work so much better. But just be careful if you have irritated skin or if you have super dry, sensitive skin, just be careful with this one. Like, it's better to get advice because it could improve it a lot or it could make it worse. But this is definitely a fantastic option. So do a spritz beforehand, and also at the moment, guys, because it's summer, do this in the evening. You're using acids, you don't want to be putting that on in the daytime and then go outside. Plus, I gotta say, because you don't want to have pigmentation, and you'll also burn more. Okay, back to the subject. What this feels like. It doesn't feel great, but it really is working. So what it feels like is a little bit like when you spray it on, it's thin like water, but as it dries, it kind of feels a little bit like when you go for a swim in the ocean and that ocean water dries up on your skin. So it sort of crystallizes and it gets a little bit sticky and it gets a little bit itchy if you have clothes rubbing up on your skin. And that's kind of what it feels like. So if you're going to put a cream on over the top, usually it breaks down those crystals somehow on the skin and it works better. But if you're going to use just this, I would say put it on as soon as you get back from wherever you're at the end of the day. Put it on straight away. Do whatever you got to do for an hour or two and then wash it off if you're not putting lotion on over the top, because boy, if you can sleep with this with nothing over the top, kudos, because I can't. I'm not comfortable. But this is going to exfoliate your skin. It's going to smooth out your skin, but most importantly, it's going to allow the next products to penetrate better, which is what we're talking about today. So what is in here? It's the usual garb. It is the alpha hydroxy acids, which is sort of medium in terms of exfoliation of the skin, in terms of irritation, in terms of strength. It's just going to renew your cells and exfoliate your skin. Then you got the beta hydroxy acids, which is the salicylic acid, which is, it's also an exfoliating acid, but it works slightly differently. It melts your skin, the dead skin, not healthy skin. It melts the dead skin cells, and it is particularly good if you have ingrown hairs, if you have that like chicken skin on the side of your arms, if you have acne, it's fantastic. It's also anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. So you got the beta, and you've also got the poly of gluconolactone. So gluconolactone is probably the weakest of the acids, but it's one of my favorite, as you guys know, because it's really brightening. So it gives you a lovely sheen on the skin, and it's energizing and brightening for the skin. Then, of course, that beautiful smell that emerges from this vessel is derived from the citric acid and the tannins from that, and it's all very mineralized and all very healthy for your skin. It's also a natural preservative as opposed to those more unhealthy preservatives that you can be used in other products. So it's really good. And then lastly, you have phytic acid, which is derived from rice. It's even weaker than the gluconolactone, but what's great about it is that it evens out the complexion. So if you have like acne, it's really good because it sort of helps the evening out of that skin and it all becomes much more homogeneous. And then lastly, you have the meadowsweet and the B3 vitamins, which are all there to balance and purify and remineralize the skin. So yep, there is a body version. So go ahead and use this. I would say a maximum of 3 times a week if you are using it for acne purposes, so basically every other day, or for ingrown hair purposes, again, every other day. But for slimming purposes, I would say twice a week, no more, because of the rest of the process can be a little painful if you do it properly. Disclaimer, warning, whatever you want to call it, pain is beauty. Put it that way, pain is beauty, beauty is pain, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, so the next slimming products, well, the two main slimming products we're going to be talking about today are the Lipogen AC oil and the Creme Anti-C. Let me just get it. It's these two right here. And They both pretty much do the same thing. They are just different consistency. So one is an oil and the other one is a cream. So the Lipogen AC and cellulite. AC stands for adipocytes, basically fat, and cellulite. C is for the cellulite. So I want to talk a little bit about the science behind the skin before I go straight into the product and what happens with the cellulite and why we get it and where we get it and what happens generally, because I always find that really interesting. And also it better allows me to understand what these products are actually doing as opposed to just understanding what the ingredients are doing. So basically within our skin, we have three main layers. We have the top layer, which is the epidermis, which is, well, we can see it. Then the second layer, which is the dermis, which is where all of the fun stuff happens. It's where everything happens. It's where the sebum is, the bulbs of the oh my God, the sebum glands are. It has all of the collagen in there. It has the elastin in there. Everything that feeds your skin is in, not feeds, but everything that makes your skin plump and smooth and communicates, and all the action is in the dermis. And then beneath the dermis, you have the hypodermis. And the hypodermis mainly contains fats. Mainly, and that's what we're really going to be talking about today. So at the very bottom of the hypodermis, which is the third layer, you have these fat cells, basically. I like to see them as cushions, but they're not cushions, they're cells, and they're round, and that's what they're supposed to look like, not pillows, but anyway. And this sort of tissue right at the bottom, which is fat, is called adipose tissue, and within that adipose tissue you have adipocytes, which is basically the fat cells. Just lots and lots of cells with fat, oils in them. And these fat cells, they multiply at three main points of your life, mainly. So when we get pregnant, the first 3 months of pregnancy, they multiply. As women, men, no, not so much. The first year of our life after birth, they multiply, and also within the teenage years. Ugh. Jesus, don't you just hate that when a fly just decides to go right in your face? Like, what are you doing? Like, there's plenty of place here. Go out the window. Sorry. Where was I? Yeah, adipocytes. So how they grow. So that's when they actually multiply. However, otherwise, in numbers, they're pretty static. They're not pretty static. They are static. What are you talking about? They are static. They don't multiply. There's not more of them. They just stay in terms of quantity. What does change is how much they fill up. So basically, the more you eat, the more your adipocytes conserve the fat, the more they fill up. And that is called lipogenesis. When you are using up energy, so whether you are working out, whether you are dieting or making healthy choices, those fat cells are depleting. So you're using up that energy, and that is called lipolysis. The only other time that these cells multiply is if basically you fill all of them up to capacity, and there is nowhere else for this fat to be stored in your body. At this point, they multiply, and that's what you see when you see somebody who is morbidly obese. That usually happens only at that point. Otherwise, it's pretty difficult to get past that. And what these products do is that they focus on the lipolysis. So basically mainly on the lipolysis, other factors as well, but they focus on emptying out and draining the current adipocytes that you have. So that's fat. That is the fat section. The cellulite section is slightly different. So cellulite, if you've sort of looked at your body, you sort of realize that cellulite doesn't occur everywhere. Cellulite mainly occurs where you have larger amounts of fat. So for example, the backs of your arms, the tuchus, and the bum area, ass area, butt area, whatever you want to call it. That is my area that I need to be working on. And the thighs, so the side of that whole sort of thigh butt area is a problem for most people with the cellulite. So what is cellulite and why do we get it? Why do we get it in those areas? How do we stop it? How do we get rid of it? So cellulite only happens to the areas where there is a lot of adipocytes, a lot of fat. And the reason we get cellulite is because those adipocytes almost get disrupted because, and they sort of get squeezed up. And when that happens, you get that orange peel skin. And the reason that happens is because there is, without getting too scientific, there is this connective tissue or this barrier between the hypodermis and the dermis. So the hypodermis is where all the fat is and the dermis is where all the action is. And waste gets stuck in between those two layers. And when that happens, the communication kind of messes up and it doesn't communicate so well anymore. And you know, when communication breaks down, shit messes up, like it just does. I don't know, with relationships, with everything, you need good communication and you need it in your skin as well. I don't know if you've realized this, but where you have cellulite, the skin is a little tougher, a little thicker, a little harder. So that thickens up and then it becomes like orange peel. So what we want to do is we want to help drain those adipocytes and through lipolysis, and then we also want to improve the communication, improve microcirculation, improve all of that good stuff so that we can get rid of that cellulite and make it go. But always remember that with all of this kind of stuff, it is great, it works, but it's an aid. Okay, everybody needs to move, you need to exercise, you need to walk or run or go to the gym or do something. And you also need to be careful what you're eating. Like you really do. Like make healthy choices. I'm talking to myself too. I'm just not talking to you, I'm preaching to me too. So in terms of cellulite as well, I just wanted to say there are 3 types of cellulite. So there's the adipose cellulite, which is the one we just spoke about. There's aqueous cellulite, which is to do with water retention and that kind of thing. And then there's fibrous cellulite. And fibrous cellulite is sort of like a byproduct of the other 2. And it affects the collagen fibers. Like I was saying before, in between the adipocytes, there are blood vessels, but there are also collagen fibers, there's all kinds of stuff. And when it gets squeezed, because the adipocytes squeeze everything, they rigidify, and that's when it gets painful. So now I am going to read you guys what is actually in here, then I'm going to put it on my skin so you can see, and then I'm going to tell you how to use it. Okay, so the first thing we have is which is the lipolysis platform. So this is what is going to help drain everything It's going to help drain the adipocytes so that they are not so engorged and enlarged. Yes. And we have Chinese wild ginger extract, which is literally specifically reduces the size of the adipocyte and helps to drain it. We have Plankton extract, which actually there's something also I didn't mention, I forgot. We have active and inactive adipocytes. We have a lot of these. We have billions. I think it was 50 billion, like official For real, I think we have 50 billion adipocytes on average in our bodies. And there are some active ones and there are some inactive ones. So basically, if you're running and if you're dieting and if you're doing all of these healthy things, sometimes there are some areas of the body that don't seem to shift in weight. You ever realize that? It's crazy. I've realized that. It's always my ass. It's always my ass. It's like, oh my God. My ass just stays put. I'm like, come on, leave this. Go down there. So, oh, I just got way too excited and I need a drink. Excuse me. Oh my God, I love that stuff. It's the chai latte, iced chai latte. Oh my God, I'm addicted. In this whole weather, it's so great. Okay, so we have the Plankton Extract, and that basically reactivates the inactive adipocytes. Very, very important. So it gives you a more uniform weight loss when you are making that sort of effort. It helps. Then we have draining. So we have pink peppercorn extract, and that helps drain the adipocytes. And then we have smoothing ingredients. So as I said before, the skin gets a little bit more rigid, it gets a little bit more hard, it gets thicker, and in order to have the products penetrate better, we need to soften it, and then also we need to soften it. It's hardened because there's cellulite there. So there's macadamia nut oil, there's avocado oil. I can't pronounce this, but I'm gonna try. Muira puama extract. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so those are the main ingredients for the Lipogen AC. When you use this, when you use any anti-cellulite product, don't use it on its own. You gotta use a glove, and this is the bit that I'm too much of a pussy for. So before I show you this, I'm going to go through the glove. So this is the BR glove. It's floppy. It's really floppy. And it has two sides. So one side is sort of like a spiky side, and then the other side is more like balls. If you can see, you can see, you can see, you can see. And basically the spiky side is for mainly exfoliation and also drainage a little bit. I think it works for drainage and microcirculation, but if you really, really want to concentrate on the microcirculation, the drainage, and breaking down that cellulite, it's this side right here, but it's so painful. It's so painful. It's these like round balls, spiky balls, and you really got to get in there with it. Yeah. What is also great about this glove, and I have to say this, is that you literally buy one, and unless you lose it, you never really need to buy another one. It is so easy to clean. It never changes its form. It never changes. It's like, it's great. It's a great investment. It's a great investment. You don't have to use it with these products. You can use it with any product. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm good. Okay, so the way this is, I'm like already getting anxiety because I'm like, I know you guys want to see this. I don't like the glove. Okay, I've just broken the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on my arm, because I also have, you know, this isn't pretty. It's not, I need to work out some more. Okay, so the way this works is don't spray it on the glove because the glove is plastic. It's just gonna like run everywhere. So just spray it on the top of your arm. Probably do a little bit more because you really need it to like moisten, because the drier it is, the more it hurts. And then you just sort of work it in. Oh my God, it's already hurting me. I am such a pussy. Okay, and can you see how it's red? Oh my God. Okay, so you just want to go circular motions and it's breaking down the cellulite. The more pressure you apply, the better it's going to be. And you just keep going in different directions until you get it down. Okay, I'm going to stop because it is hurting me. Look how red that is. Oh my God. Smells nice though. How? Okay, I'm stopping. I'm stopping. I showed you guys, I did my bit. I need to wipe this off because wipe it off because I don't want my top to get messed up. Yeah, okay. Ow. Jesus. Okay, and then the other product you can use, and it works, like I said, in very much the same way as the Crème Anti-C. Right there. And I mean, the Lipogen AC is a newer product. It has more, I think it has newer technology in it, so I think it may be more effective. I'm not so sure. I always think of this as more effective, but maybe just because I love body oils. And then you have the Crème Anti-C. And the Creme, I'm not using the glove again, guys. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. But I'm gonna show you here. So it's sort of like a brown cream. Look at how red that is. And I'm gonna go through the ingredients with you. So, look. It's easier. And it does slip. It slips a lot. I can't figure out whether I like the smell or not. It's very slippy. But you can see, and therefore, I've got to show you. I'm going to do it on the spiky side because I can handle that better. Ow, Jesus. Yeah, I think actually they both slip just as well as each other. It hurts. I'm going to wipe this off. I'm literally using my husband's t-shirt. Because that's what's on the floor right now. Note to my husband, if you do not want your t-shirts being used as towels and wipers, put it in your bedroom where it's supposed to be, not on the floor in the bathroom. Okay, so the Crème Anti-C, in terms of ingredients, we have for the lipolysis effect, so draining of the adipocytes, the fat tissues, to get rid of all of that oil, fat. We have caffeine, carnitine, and T-hydroiodide complex. There's jujube extract, and there's a complex of essential oils of everlasting cedar, anise, and mint. Then for repairing and firming, we have black crowberry juice, which I love as an ingredient. So this ingredient actually prohibits, it stops the elastase and collagenase process. And the elastase and collagenase process is actually the destruction of collagen and elastin. And we want collagen and elastin in our skin. Collagen is what makes our skin plump, and elastin is what is de-wrinkling for our skin. So we don't want those to be destroyed. And then lastly, we have, we have two more. We have birch bark extract, which promotes micro circulation and lymphatic drainage. And then lastly, there was also a little bit of salicylic acid in the Crème Anti-C. So I guess maybe that's the main differential between the two in my mind, is that apart from obviously this being a cream and this being an oil, the Crème Anti-C has salicylic acid in it. So if you have a more sensitive or reactive skin, or if you just don't like salicylic acid, I kind of don't like salicylic acid because it's not good for my skin. Then I would go for the Lipogen. If you want to remove that dead skin even more, you would go for the Crème Anti-C. And also if you have a stronger, more resilient skin, you would go for the Crème Anti-C. And that is it for toning, a little bit of toning, mainly anti-cellulite, and getting ready for the summer with the exfoliation as well. I would say, oh, I've also got stats on this stuff. So for the Lipogen AC, according to Biologique Recherche, the brand, we have within a 2-month usage period, within a cohort of people, don't know how many, we have a 30% increase in firmness, We have a 52% increase in softness of the skin. That's something. And then we have the gravity of the cellulite. Not as in the gravity as in the weight, as in the gravity as in the seriousness of the cellulite. We have a reduction of 20% after 2 months. Impressive. Impressive. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, if you liked it, if you want to know what I'm doing next, just ping the subscribe button, the like, ask me all the questions that you want to ask me. I love responding to you guys and answering your questions. If you have videos that you would like me to make because there are certain topics that you would like me to discuss, please do let me know. And I so look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye guys.